Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. I'm here with Pete.
Hi Ryan. Hi guys.
He's the guy behind Tone King amps, as well as Soldano amps, and also what was the other one that was around here? Synergy, that's right. We're here at Boutique Amp Distributors in Los Angeles. Is this Los Angeles or Orange County?
It's Huntington Park.
Huntington Park. We're doing some geography podcasting here. Close to Los Angeles. So I actually have very specific intentions with this video because I've been curious about these Tone King amps. I got to try them a little bit at Henning Pauly's house at 42 Gear Street. And who knows? I might get one at some point, but I've been in my window shopping, in between a Sky King and the Imperial, and I didn't know which way to go with it. And so hopefully Pete can kind of help me guide my window shopping decision here.
I will try to. Yeah.
So basically, my home rig is I use a Princeton reverb. I've been using a Princeton forever, and I typically run kind of lower volume, clean sounds for pedal demos and whatnot. And then I will run like a Rev 20 watt amp or like an Ibanez 20 watt amp in stereo or parallel with it and mix them together in post and whatnot. And these are just a really attractive set of amps because you've got the, what's that called? Attenuator. You got built-in attenuation and things like that that would be really convenient for someone like me who wants to record in lower volumes but might want to hit, some crispies every now and then for demos, like some edge of breakup type stuff. So I was just hoping you could kind of guide me through these two amps and help me figure out which way I'd want to go.
Sure. So the main difference is the power amp between those amps. The preamp is slightly different voice between those two. The power amp is 22 watts with the Imperial, kind of a Fender deluxe reverb kind of thing. As opposed to the 35 watt 6L6 bass power amp of the Sky King. The Sky King on top of that has two attenuators, so you can dial them in per channel. The Imperial has one attenuator which you can pre-assign to the lead channel, so you got sort of a channel volume. These are the main differences in terms of those two amps. You see the front panel layout is the same. So it means you have the same topology in terms of the channels, the reverb, and the tremolo, which is also kind of a Fenderish kind of thing.
Sure.
The lead channel is sort of a mix between a brown face and a Marshallish kind of circuit. So I think I run through it and show you some tones.
Yeah, show me some tones. Let's see what these things sound like. I'm kind of curious to hear where the volume level is for when these start to break up, when you start to get some dirt on them. I think that'll be kind of a big deciding factor for me. So maybe show me like some clean tones first, and then show me when it starts leaning into that. And then of course you can dial it back with the attenuator. Sorry, I've still got lunch in my throat. Dial it back with the attenuator and whatnot.
Right after lunch, right? The attenuator is already dialed in, so when we take it out for a second to give you an idea about the volume, I picked a tally to I know, first of all, I know that you like tallies, right?
Well, I'm predominantly a single coil player because I'm typically doing like a clean surfy sort of thing. So the telly is the way to go versus the SG that's sitting off camera there.
Right. So you get an idea about
plenty of volume there. Plenty. That was pretty clean too. Like
It was pretty clean, so it has some clean headroom with a single coil bass guitar. There's quite some range. I mean, you can almost go to up to 6, 7-ish. Then it starts to break up. So
okay, so it doesn't break up until like 6 or 7 on the dial. I'm used to like on my Princeton, it starts to break up like 4.5 to 5. Like that's where the edge is.
yeah, that's seems realistic.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers are all, they don't mean anything. It's just different place on the dial. But.
Right. But it's convenient to have some sort of a range on a volume knob, right? So sure, with a humbucker guitar, you will get some sort of breakup at around 3. Sure, for sure, it depends on the pick attack and stuff like that. But so I dialed in the attenuator back, so you get an idea about.
Yes, it was way more comfortable in the room now. Like it was pretty dang loud a second ago. I just had to adjust like the volume on the recorder for that big volume jump, and it sounds nice.
Yeah. So let's crank it a little, so that you get an idea about how the rhythm channel kind of breaks up. Okay. So quite nice and a fat, clean, still kind of cleaner sound.
He's got some licks.
Oh, I don't know what to play. So.
I think it's just nice to not hear my own playing when I'm making a video, you know? You get so burned out on hearing yourself play.
I know what you're talking about. I'm basically just meanwhile, I'm a guy of just 1 or 2 bars, you know, because I barely play more than that. So, yeah, anyways. That's
Would you mind if I played a little bit and see
Sure, absolutely.
see how it sounds
So,
with my dumb playing?
let me
Oh, yeah.
hold the mic for you. So you want it on the cleaner side or?
Yeah, let's start out pretty clean. Huge neck on this telly.
Yeah, it's nice. Huh?
That feels really nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That really does I feel like my territory.
I figured. Yeah.
It's just nice and bright and clean, and it really, like, I've got this thing turned up pretty high right now, and it's pushing into some nice drive, but it's not at all like a ridiculous, like, roaring,
No.
super saturated tube drive. Like, it's doing that vintagey kind of like spanky crisp thing that I go for.
I'm making proper terms for that.
That's really cool. So can we?
Sure.
Let's switch over to the Sky King and see how that differs. I mean, part of the thing I typically use like lower wattage amps now, and 22 watts is definitely in the range of what I normally do. So it's like, should I go for higher wattage? It's not significantly higher. It's not like going to like a 100 watt amp.
No, it's 35, so it's got quite some clean headroom, which is nice. But for sure, I mean, depends on how do you want to use it. I think just give it a try and see if that might be something for you. If we get something out of it.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Hold that for a second.
Sure.
Let me fix it.
There we go.
Look at that.
All right, so we are in a guitar workshop, factory, warehouse, whatever you want to call it. Stuff is being built here. Turned out this Sky King isn't done being built, so we had to bring in a chassis, a head, and plug it into the speaker, and even brought in a mod tank back here for the reverb. So we're doing stuff a little...
Fix we could accomplish.
Yeah, quick fix here. So now I get to try out the Sky King, more of a... in a way people don't usually get to. I get to see the whole thing. It's really more of an ergonomics thing here, bringing the knobs up closer to me.
Right.
So I appreciate that.
That was the whole purpose.
Just as a quick comparison.
It's still dialed in like...
What do you think? There's definitely a big tonal difference between the two. Very different character. I mean, not very, but certainly a different character between the two.
I would say this one is sounding bigger in a way. You know, it's got a wider frequency response than this one, which is actually a little bit narrower. I mean, depending on what you want to achieve, you're either or, whatever.
That's the problem. I was hoping to make a decision. I was hoping to.
You want a decision?
I was hoping to make a decision for myself. But I listened to the Imperial. I was playing it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really nice." And then I'm playing through the Sky King, like, "This is really nice too." And there's two different sounds. They're both sounds that I like.
I don't know what you want.
I feel like I have more questions for myself than answers now.
You just don't dare to say it. You just don't dare to go for this question, right?
My initial thought when I was window shopping these things online and when I saw them at Henning's and played them a little bit there is that I prefer the front panel kind of format. But there's something about the character of this that, I'm going to have to listen to this. I'm going to have to listen to this in post to decide which one I like. Man, that's tough.
It's not as tough as you think.
Okay, which one do you think, based on my playing, which one do you think I should go with?
Well, I would recommend the Sky King.
The Sky King?
Yeah. It's more versatile. I mean, I love that amp for sure, but the Sky King is just a little bit more of everything, and I really like that, and especially as you can dial it down with the attenuator so that you are able to play at lower volumes. It's kind of a really cool amp. So I think you should go with the Sky King.
Pete's vote is for the Sky King. I'm not going to disagree with him right now. I'm going to wait to decide for myself until I hear it in post. You guys comment down below, say which one I should go with in theory. Who knows what's going to happen, but I'll be damned if they don't sound really good, both of them. It's a hard decision.
You can have both. I mean,
that's true. Stereo. I think if I was going more in just a dedicated dirty link ray sort of sound, the Imperial has a really nice dirty character. But for what I tend to be doing, clean pedal demos and stuff like that, and having a wider range of frequencies for working with pedals and those kinds of recording scenarios, the Sky King might be the one. It's a tough decision, guys. I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say about the brand or what you do around here? Or is there any product you want to talk up while we're on camera?
I mean, we got the Gremlin head upcoming. We're going to show it at NAMM, which is exciting. That little cutie is 5 watts, a single-ended power amp. It sounds amazing. It got 2 channels. It's a super simple layout, as you can see.
Do you want to grab it and pull it on camera?
Sure.
It is cute.
It's super nice combo.
Oh, it's not gonna. You gotta hold it.
I'm gonna hold it for you guys.
You had this double stack of cabs it was on. I can't even lift it one arm, but.
So a super simple layout. It can't get any easier. It's a volume and a tone, which are for both channels. But it sounds just amazing. It's like that old combos from Gibson combos or stuff like that from the 60s.
All right, guys, we had a little bit of a technical meltdown. The camera decided to reject whatever was happening. Ran out of battery. It didn't like the card anymore. Hopefully everything's okay. But we've got the Gremlin up, plugged into the speaker for the Sky King. So we get to check this thing out now and see what it sounds like. Run us through the paces on this thing. That sounds really nice. I like your playing too.
It's a little off. Just not what I have to play. But anyways, I think I'm not a...
No one ever thinks they're a good player. We're all fine. We're all playing just fine.
So, I mean, you get the idea. It's pretty clean for that 5 watt thing, right?
Yeah.
So, if you crank it, it's getting into serious crunch territory.
That's 5 watts?
That's 5 watts.
That's a loud 5 watts.
So, let me just give you an idea about how the lead channel sounds. Okay. So
It's got plenty of grit to it. A lot of attitude.
a lot of dirt, and I mean it's got an attenuator on the back panel too. So if you want to, so that you're really able to play it at bedroom levels. It goes down to.
Yeah, that's fully like a bedroom level. Like I could hear his strings jangling over it,
I think it's even.
and it still sounds great.
Not even the quietest.
Super duper whisper quiet.
Very cool.
That's cool. Here, let me play it a little bit. I want to try this thing.
You need a pick?
No, I put my own pick in my pocket. What was it doing?
A little bit more. Try the clean channel. Or the rhythm.
A wild Glenn has appeared. This thing sounds great. Probably the best sounding like super low watt amp I've ever played through. Like it doesn't feel like a lot of times super low watt amps can feel small. This sounds huge. Turned all the way up, it doesn't sound like, oh, you're just turning up a low watt amp super high. It sounds like just a fat pushed tube amp.
Right.
Really great tone. I'm impressed. I mean, definitely not, the clean machine that I was testing for between these two things.
No, not at all. Totally different ballpark, but
But man, if I was like in, like a gritty, like punk band or something like that, or doing like Stooges type recordings, like that's where it took me right away. It was like, I'm waiting for Iggy Pop to walk through the door or something like that. Like hit this with a fuzz or something. That sounds great. Really cool amp.
really fun. Yeah.
And of course, I love the aesthetic of these amps too. They're just really, really sharp looking. So thanks for your time.
Sure.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to promote while...
No, I'm
Got your
good.
mic.
We got some other stuff upcoming, but things I'm not supposed to talk about right now. So
Secrets. Yeah, stay tuned. Keep an eye out for Tone King amps. Maybe I'll get one of these things in my life someday soon. I'm starting to lean... You said Sky Captain. No, Sky
King.
Sky King. Sky Captain is a movie. And I feel like that's the expert opinion that I needed. I feel like I'm swayed in that direction right now. But then, again, I need to hear it in post, and I'll make my decision there. So you guys vote down below. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Rude and nasty comments. You know the whole deal. And stay grounded. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well,
Cool.
sorry.